Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody. Welcome back. Good morning, guys. Happy 8 in the morning. Thanks for tuning in with us. So we'll get ready to rock and roll here in probably just a few seconds. Definitely quite a few things to cover. I know a lot of people are interested in AMD. Definitely want to talk about Uber. Uber's interesting. And then we'll just go from there. Good morning, Mr. Chuck Rania. Alrighty, so what we're going to first do is take a look at Uber. And really, why I think we want to look at Uber is really just because I think someone asked about it the other day. I think yesterday morning or just a couple mornings ago, somebody had asked about Uber. What do we think about it? And the suggestion was that you should continue watching Uber bearish until it got into this gray box. So right now we're looking at Uber on a daily chart, so it's not showing you today's current movement. So if we change this to a 4-hour chart, watch what happens. You see where the buying is starting to happen kind of around that box. So last night, Uber reported earnings, and the market dropped down to that box that we suggested the market would go to. And then we suggested you would only start to try to be long once the market kind of went into that box. Well, it ended up going through it, believe it or not, by about $1, and then bounced back up and started trading within that zone. So is Uber going to have a good long day today? I'm really not too sure. And the reason I say that is a lot of times the first day after earnings can be a little sluggish. Sometimes people are afraid to jump right into the market and get it moving. So we might just get a sluggish trading day here. But I was expecting that we should start to see a counter trend bounce on Uber, similar to what we saw back here in April, May, or whatnot. So again, I think we will be seeing some sort of counter trend long on the stock Uber like we saw back in April to May fairly soon. My assumption was that it was going to kind of start around this box area. Now, in the event that I'm wrong about that, we might still go a little lower, and I wouldn't really see Uber going any lower than like 35.75, give or take a little bit before it bounces. So either we start really getting picked up here, or we swing a little lower to 35.77, and then we start bouncing. This is a very similar situation to that of the stock pins. Remember yesterday we talked about Pinterest. We said watch it long bias. Still watching it long bias with the target back up to 62 to 66. This is sort of that same situation where people are starting to buy it. In the event it fails, we could still see, maybe a move down to like 51. But nonetheless, Uber's interesting because it started to enter the buy zone for a counter trend move. Uber is not quite trading at -3. It might, Uber shouldn't be trading at -3 unless I looked at something incorrectly, but at least on the time frame, I guess I'm viewing, it's not trading at -3. It came close to -3. It went to -2.5 on the 4-hour, and now it's trading at -2. Which my line is really, why is it? That's really odd. I don't know why it's doing that. So good morning, Wayne. What's up, my dude? What's up? We'll definitely take a look at Roku here in a little bit. First, what we're going to do is we're going to hop over to AMD. So yesterday did start a small, nothing too big yet, because again, we have seen what's happened to people who try to short the top of AMD. It don't work so well. So anyways, started a small short onto AMD yesterday at I didn't catch the top. It was later in the day I started entering short into AMD, somewhere in this area, just anticipating that the market was meant to start seeing weakness. So I didn't take the most ideal entry on the day, but for a swing trade, I did believe that AMD was getting a little overdone, and the fact that we ran up so strong yesterday and then pulled back so hard, to me, it started to seem like signs of weakness. So decided to enter a small short yesterday, still holding. We've gapped down this morning. We started forming up in sort of a bullish channel, but that's gotten knocked back down on this candle. So we'll see how the open goes, but I did start taking on bearish positions with AMD. Still overall long bias the stock long term, but in the immediate, I do believe that we are around the corner from the market coming down. So if I'm right in today's a big down day, then I would expect that we'll see the market on AMD come back down to about $114 or so. I think that would be a logical price target for a pullback on the stock maybe today. So anyways, just bearish AMD at these prices. Again, we are over +4 and on the daily and the 4 hour. So on the daily and the 4 hour, we're probably trading at +5 right now. So definitely overbought. Now currently watching AMD on the bear side. Kelly, you actually asked that same exact question yesterday. I'm sorry I didn't respond to it. So I don't actually own any Bitcoin. I've traded Bitcoin back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But in a nutshell, I'm really just not smart enough, or not that I'm, no. I am smart enough. I really just haven't done enough research within that whole space to know anything more than owning like Bitcoin and Ethereum, if that makes sense, right? So I don't own any on the long term. It's been something I've really wanted to get into, but I just never found the time, which is dumb because you can see what's happening with it. So it's an area where I still got to research, but nonetheless, I do believe cryptocurrencies are going to have a future, whether that be Bitcoin. Don't know. I wanted to buy Bitcoin down at like 19,000, 23,000 when it got to -2. It never went to -2. It just did like a wedge snap on the Amazon news. So I was going to buy some Bitcoin, but it kind of jumped and now I'm just watching it. But I do believe it is good to own some cryptocurrencies, yes. All right. 1 second. I don't have my scanner up. I'm like, wait a second. Good morning, Linda. Sandra, yes, we are live every single day through the bell, and then we stay to about 11 a.m. All right. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pop on over to, let me keep something up here. All right, we're going to pop on over to ENSC, I think it was. Wasn't that the one? Where did it go? I could have swore I just saw it. ENSC, right? Yeah, ENSC's up this morning. It does look like maybe there was some news. Daily Biotech, Moderna slipped, bear to buy this. So it looks like they got a notice of allowance from the United States Patent and Trademark Office for compositions comprising enzymes. So they do have some news about receiving some patent and or trademark from the United States. Okay. So they've made a good move up. So far, I don't really know what to do with this. I do see that ENCS has some resistance around 599 to 632, which is probably causing some of its hesitation. So you can see the market today ran right up into the zone of 590 to 630, and then it ended up pulling back and selling down. So I believe ENCS has hit resistance, and the only way you're really going to get a big move is if the market comes back up and through 6 to 620, which at this point is probably going to be pretty hard to do. So for now, I would just be bearish to neutral, but not long bias for the time being on ENCS. Yes, there is 197 of you guys watching, so that's 197 tickles that we should have on the like button. So we'll see how we get, we'll see where we get to, but we do appreciate those likes because it does help the YouTube algorithm. At least they tell us it does. Alrighty. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Don't worry, we are going to go over the NASDAQ. We will go over the SPY. We are going to go over all of that good stuff. And then also, I should just set an alarm for that. Give me 1 second. I need to set an alarm because yesterday I forgot about something. But today, we are learning from those mistakes. So I will set an alarm for 8:55. Perfect. And that's going to have to be every single day of the week. Sure. Okay. Alrighty, awesome. So now we're going to take a peek over at AM McSizzle. What do you guys think about Mr. AM McSizzling biscuits? We're not going to really run over the analysis from yesterday, but pretty much we said to be long up to this red line, and then you'd watch for resistance. And then you'd watch the market bearish. The market has gone down. So basically what we're saying with AMC is the exact same thing we said with Uber. So if we go just kind of peek at Uber, you can use Uber as your visual representation as to what's most likely going to be happening with AM McSizzle. So if you look at the 4-hour chart on both AMC and Uber, you will see something, somewhat similar, and that is pretty much, right, Uber goes down, finds support, bounces, rolls over, goes down, enters new support, soon to counter trend bounce. Okay, AMC rolls down, hits support, AMC rolls down, hits support down here, which, by the way, we recommended you should have been long on that bottom. And now we're rolling over, and the recommendation is that the market will most likely go down to 20, basically that zone, and then that's where your new counter trend long is going to be at. So we're still bearish AMC only because we don't think it's actually reached a low enough risk buying point. So we're close, but not close enough to convince me it's time to jump in on the long side. I think you still let the bearish traders and the bearish side of the market continue winning the battle down to that zone, and then that's where you look for the counter trend long. So again, recommendation AMC is that you stay bearish on the stock until we see prices of 26, which could have changed a little bit. So let me just double check. No, it's still all pretty much the same. So yeah, until it gets to 2650 to 2440, we're still not comfortable on the long side. Alrighty. Thanks, Mr. B, who's driving right now and listening. I appreciate that. Oh, by the way, this is a stepping stone in the right direction, but I am in contact with someone at the marketing department of Webull, which they said that they would then contact someone in the servicing department to contact me or give me their information. One of the two. But anyways, they talked to someone at Webull. They said they're going to get in contact with the right people to maybe talk to me, but we're going to be trying to work with Webull to get the standard deviation onto Webull. Does it work? I have no idea, but I've at least initiated the conversation about implementing this onto the platform. So I said I'd be willing to kind of sit down with the programmers or whomever it is that codes into the system to make sure that when they're doing it or when it's done, to have me look it over to make sure that it is in fact accurate and running sort of the same pricing. So I'll give you guys updates on that as that comes along, but I'm not sure what the case will be there. Mr. Montero, I mean, I guess I could contact TradingView. I feel like TradingView is going to be less open to the idea because they're probably just going to tell you that you should build it on PineScript using their script coding, which we've already been doing and people have already been doing, and it doesn't work. So I think there would be less chance of getting it done through TradingView, ironically, considering they're like the biggest technical analysis website. But again, that's just me assuming things without actually initiating a conversation, so I guess I could always do that too. Mr. Sandberg, Did I hear back from Matt? No, not yet, but I don't think I will, and that's okay. I've done my job, and that's all we can do. I've been trading since I was in my early 20s. I've been investing since I was 18. Everybody mostly knows me for day trading because that's pretty much the only thing I've ever posted videos about. But at the end of the day, I'm also a long-term investor, and pretty much my whole life is just investing, trying to take my money to make more money. That's why whenever my fiance tells me, or that's why whenever I tell my fiance that we're broke, she's like, we're not broke. I'm like, no, we are broke. And she just doesn't understand that my life means I take all the money I have. All the money I have is meant to be used for something, right? I have to use this money to make more money to continue living. Whereas for her, she goes to a job that's pretty secure to make money. So she just kind of shows up every week and the money will keep coming in. Whereas for me, I have to be creative, how to take this money to do something with it here or here or here to continue making money. So yes, in my eyes, I'm always broke because every dollar I have has to go somewhere. But I'm not really broke. But the mentality, you know. Okay, so we've covered AMC. Let's run through the market really quickly. My analysis on the market the past couple days has been kind of spotty because there just hasn't really been a situation that I think calls for like extensive action. So to me, market still kind of the same situation. We're kind of in this little consolidation chop. We've been struggling to really push through all-time highs. And this is something that you will come to recognize more. After the market's already put in an all-time high, it then usually kind of just struggles to get into new all-time highs significantly. We normally put in new significant all-time highs after markets go through dips. Okay, so like you see here, the market goes through a dip, then we go to an all-time high, right? Then you'll see eventually we kind of top out, and then it just steadily grinds into a new all-time high, okay? And then we pull back, we go through a dip, don't get over the all-time high, Jesus, think or swim. All right, go through a dip, come down here, and then we explode through the all-time high. So I would say that I think I'm comfortable saying that where the market is currently at right now is similar to when the market was like here, okay? So we've already gone through our dip. We've already exploded through new all-time highs. We've been struggling to keep cranking in the new all-time highs for like the past couple weeks. So we might be getting to that period where the market is slowing down and we might be coming into like a rolling over dip sooner than later. Again, not positive. We don't have too many bearish signals. On the daily chart with the NASDAQ, you are starting to get an early sign of a reversal based on RSI, which is suggesting there is a bearish divergence occurring. That's on the daily chart. The 4-hour might give more detail to that. So the 4-hour chart does in fact give us some bearish divergence too, which arguably could have already played out a little bit, but you can see the momentum on the market, price has been going up, and the momentum of the NASDAQ has been trending down. Again, those are early signals of a reversal. So again, I would be more on the side of like neutral to watching the market rolling into bearish action maybe in a couple weeks or something like that. All right, so we'll pop onto the SPY. The SPY probably shouldn't be all that different from the NASDAQ currently. One second, guys. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can type that fast if all you do is sit at a computer for years and years and years. So again, it's taken me a long time to get those typing skills. All right. Sorry, I had to send a message there. So we were on the SPY. Again, SPY is very similar to that of the NASDAQ. So again, really nothing too crazy here. Yesterday, the analysis was pretty spot on. Basically, what we said was the market had to sustain over that trend. If we started to break it, then I was going to get bearish, blah, 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 blah. So anyways, the resistance on the market right now for the SPY today is going to be up at 440.92. So unless the market falls apart here and rolls down, you should see the market trying to creep back up to prices of 440. Again, let me rephrase that. So unless somehow the market falls apart today, it should be along up to a price of 440. Okay. Let me check the daily chart. I didn't see that there. So actually, you have resistance before. Kind of. Yeah, so pretty much the resistance zone of the market right now on the NASDAQ is here. So that's your resistance zone. You can't really suggest that the market's like really, really bullish in the immediate until we were to get up through that zone and then trade above it. So the market to me is still more of into a bearish kind of resistance as opposed to extremely bullish. The only way I see us being really bullish on the SPY right now is the market would have to get up and over the price of 440.91 and then stay above the 440.91 price, which would be pretty hard to do considering that's also where the plus 3 is at on the day. So anyways, resistance market starts at 440 all the way up to 490. I think that's how the market's going to play out today. Resistance in that zone. Okay. Something else we are going to do, and this was actually something that I had a discussion with a member just a second ago. So anyways, couple things. I am going to be funding my Webull account with more money that's already there. There really is just like small play money, but I'm also going to be funding my Webull account, and something that we'll probably do live is like a low-risk, balanced portfolio. It's not something that I talk about too much, nor do I really, it doesn't really matter. Most of my videos are day trading, but we'll be using a Webull account sort of throughout these daily streams as sort of a low-risk benchmark portfolio to use while we're in the stream. And there's a couple reasons why, but one of which, not everyone day trades, that's for sure. Not everyone's going to be successful at it. So, also on this channel, I kind of want to provide means for people to understand there's multiple ways to be invested in the market. So another thing we're going to be doing here is having a Webull account. It's going to be a low-risk fund, a lot of ETFs, dividend stuff, pretty simple things that anybody can do, right? So I don't want to be restricted to just one part of the market. So some things will change here a little bit on the channel. I hope it's for the better. Yada, yada, yada. But like I said, after trading since my 20s, I've taught trading for many years now. I've traded live for a lot of years. I've had people in chat rooms and I've done everything live, which is all great and dandy. And the reality is, after doing it for so many years, I also, you come to the realization that most people will probably end up losing money trading. So when I first started doing it, that really wasn't even like a concern in my mind. But after doing this for so many years and doing YouTube and trading and teaching and whatnot, you do realize just how hard it is, even myself, but just in general for individuals to be successful at it on a long-term basis. So I started waking up and going, like 20 years later down the road, 30 years down the road in my life, do I want to be, known for teaching a subject that is almost nearly impossible for most people to master? And I said, nope, I don't. I want to be also known for other things that people can be successful at. So that's also kind of why we're shifting gears a little bit, because trading is very hard. Most people are going to fail. So I also want to be teaching other routes of investing that more people can grasp that don't allow them to lose money. So it's more of a moral thing that I'm starting to set into. And maybe that's just with me getting older. Maybe I'm just becoming more daddish. I don't know. So again, as I've gotten a little older, maybe morality's checking in and I'm going, well, you know what? This is very hard for people. I do also want to teach other things so that it's more inclusive. So anyways, that's kind of where my mind's at. Maybe I'm just growing up and I'm not a little kid anymore. So, but yeah, morally, I'm like, because I've never felt comfortable advertising like cars or fancy things to try to attract people to day trading to then sell a course or anything like that. And then after doing it for so many years, I've seen the turnaround rate, right? Like I can see that from subscriptions and enrollments and things like that from our business, right? I can see the turnaround rate for a trader, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean that they quit and they're not trading anymore. They could have just left our service, went somewhere else, but there's a very high turnover rate. So I don't want to be necessarily a part of that high turnover rate, right? I don't want to be known for, oh, he's teaching a subject that no one's going to be able to grasp. So that's a big part of it. So I am 27. Yes, 27. Okay. Here's a good question. All right, this is actually stock related. I know you got to bear with me on my streams. Sometimes I get a little caught off guard and we kind of go down a little rabbit hole, but what do you expect? So this is a good question. The question is, how can you predict price movement of stocks on earnings using the option chain? Sorry, brain fart. Let me get some coffee. No, seriously. So maybe you can, but this dude don't know it. Maybe you can predict actually which way a stock's going to go on earnings. I don't know it, and I would assume if Warren Buffett knew it, he'd be even richer than he is. So I think there isn't really any way to for sure know with 100% certainty the direction of a move. But with very close certainty, you can figure out how much a stock is supposed to move. So this isn't going to lead you into a 100% profitable trading strategy. It won't do any of that. It's really just going to make you a better investor that isn't so noobish, okay? So you would do this. I'm going to do this really quickly. We're going to do it one time. So if you're interested in learning how to figure out how much a stock is going to move on their earnings day, then take your little eyeballs and put them on the screen. Alrighty, folks. And this is Uber. We should use a stock by the end of the stream. Someone tell me by about 11 o'clock, someone tell me not to forget about looking at a stock reporting earnings tonight. So before we go on the stream, we're going to re-go through. I'm going to teach you right now towards the end of the stream. We're going to pick a company or just a few that are going to report earnings tonight. I'll show you how you would go about finding the earnings move and mapping it out at about 11 a.m. And then you can follow those stocks in after hours trading today and then see how they end up doing. So we're going to, now mind you, we're going to be doing this at 11. So by the end of the day, things could change. But if you stay in at 11 and you go through the full process with me, then you'll know how to do the process by the end of the day. And that's when you want to do it because that's where you'll get the most accurate pricing. So anyways, the way that you figure out the projected price movement of a stock on their earnings report is you go to the option chain of the stock it is that's reporting earnings. I don't know if this is the case for other brokers, but for TD Ameritrade and their Thinkorswim platform, if you look in the upper right-hand corner where my cursor's at, right there. Well, first, you go to the option chain, and you always pick the earliest expiring option chain. For Uber in this case, it would be August 6th of 2021. So we'd go into here. And then you see this little upper right-hand corner where it says 121, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, it also has a number here, 3. So that's the implied volatility, 3. Ideally what that is the dollar value that Uber was expected to move on earnings, which this isn't totally correct because it's really from yesterday, so take that with a grain of salt. But basically, at the end of the day, before market close, before a stock or a company reports their earnings, you will go to the options chain. You will go to the first expiring option chain. You will take the at the money put and the at the money call. You will add those two contracts together. You will come up with a value that could be 10, 30, 50, 100. Whatever that number is the expected price movement of the stock for the earnings. Another way of saying it is that is the expected volatility or the implied volatility for the stock going into earnings. So again, any stock in the stock market right before market close, 4 p.m., you go to the first expiring option chain, add together the price of or the cost of your at the money put and at the money call. When you add those together, whatever that price or whatever that value is how much the stock is supposed to move. Okay? It's easy on Thinkorswim because you don't even have to add them together. You can just look in the upper right-hand corner and whatever the implied volatility number is there, that's how much it's going to move. Something like Webull, something like Fidelity, Interactive Brokers, I don't know if they provide the implied volatility for you already. I'm sure there is. I just don't know where it's located. But if you don't know where it's located, again, you just add up the at the money put and call, and that's how much the stock's going to move for earnings. We'll come back to that a little bit later as the day progresses. Mr. U.S., thank you for the $10. I appreciate you very much. That's going to go to a good cause. That will go to a good cause. It could go to a bowl of Panera soup. I love me that Panera soup, especially after getting my wisdom teeth taken out. I think the lady at the drive-thru knows me on a first-name basis. She's a good girl. Good girl. Gonna invite her over for a picnic soon. Alrighty. Man, we've already talked about so much. I think I need a second to just kind of get my thoughts together. Nothing really changed on the high-a-day scanner here. I'm going to take like 5 seconds and just kind of run through... Just going to run through this scanner myself so that I don't have to think about talking and I can actually use my brain that the God has given me. Oh, I got to move that because that's not helping. So you guys just hang out. You just do whatever you do for a second. Ping earnings, BOG. Chubby. Okay. You add them together. Add them together. Yes. Your thoughts on AMC? AMC bearish to... basically bearish to the 25, 24 price, something like that. Okay. Chris, it's always the at the money, all right? So it's always at the money, put or call. AMD is still just kind of like hanging out a little bit. Yeah, I really wonder if that's going to actually roll over this morning. If it does, it would be impressive. All right, so we'll take a peek over here onto to Tesla. I don't think I've tried a poor man's covered call. Mr. Montero, to answer your question, yeah. So the more times a stock touches support does not necessarily make it stronger support. Pretty much the thing that I've always taught in the market is the first attempt at support or resistance will always be the strongest, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Here's a great example. Ready? Watch this. Okay. So this first gray box, that's a first attempt at support. Okay. This gray box would be a second attempt at support. This third would be a third attempt breakdown. Ready? Now, hold on. 1 second. Oh, wait, wrong one. Okay. Now, Uber, ready, is on a first attempt at support. So that's why we were recommending Uber as a long in these prices, because Uber is now attempting support for the first time. First attempt, always strongest. Second attempt, usually weaker. Okay? Right? Like, what about this concept, right? Look at the amount of times the stock hit this price in here, right? We held through. So, I mean, that touched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then broke on the 9th time. So that had 8 tries of support and still broke. So how valid is the concept that the more times something touches a price level, the stronger it is? That's not entirely true. So for me, it's more about the first attempt at the market entering into support is always going to be your strongest one. What's the ticker for Bright Health? 355. Ironically, I gotta say, let me show you guys something real quick. It's like the YouTube it's like the YouTube algorithm knows to keep me at a certain, I swear, to keep me at like a certain amount of views. It's kind of impressive. And what I mean by that is, like, I won't really be able to explain it, but so oh, gotta go to live. Yeah, 1 second. So get this, right? This is what I mean when I tell you that this shit be rigged sometimes. Okay? Now, of course, there's always a reason that could be valuable. So check this. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but I mean, I guess you kind of can. Oh, there you go. So look at the time of those videos. So the timing of those videos, those older streams, are only 30 minutes long. And you can see the view count is about 3,500, 3,600. Okay? So now we'll go to a 3-hour stream. Streaming for 3 hours, still 3,400, 3,500. That's impressive. So even after working for another 3 hours longer, you still don't really get more views. So there would be 2 plausible explanations. That would mean that the same 3,000 people that watch me for 30 minutes are the same 3,000 people that watch me for 3 hours. And that after 3 hours of streaming, YouTube has not promoted our channel to anybody new that hasn't already seen our channel. Or that simply is that I am just such trash that only the people that have ever subscribed to me are the people that only watch me. So again, I don't know what what do you guys think? What do you think? I don't know what to tell you, but what do you think about that? A 30-minute stream gets the same amount of views as a 3-hour stream? I mean, Maybe. I mean, I'm not the king of YouTube. I don't know how this shit works, but my mind doesn't think that's right. I think there's something a little off there. And I really wish you guys could watch my account. Like, it might even happen right now. Like, right now it says I have 172,505 subscribers. Let me refresh this. Okay, it didn't work that time, but almost every single day when I update my YouTube, I constantly see subscribers actually go down. So I don't know if that's YouTube unsubscribing people that are like old accounts, or if it's actual people unsubscribing, but who knows? It's really hard to tell. Really hard to tell. I mean, and you guys saw what happened with Matt Core's channel, what's happened with Meet Kevin, and even Graham Stephan. You know, some of their channels started basically getting blocked and banned for who knows why, for reasons that aren't even legit. Oh, man, so funny. Actually, yeah, I was considering, actually, my fiance just walked in this morning and said I should work on TikTok, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So I'm going to take like 5 seconds just to kind of read through the comments to see what people think of my my spiel there, and then we'll continue moving forward. I mean, we could do that, right? If you guys are okay with it, I could totally make YouTube videos spewing absolute bullshit about trading. And if those get more views than spewing bullshit about real stuff with trading, then we would know for sure. Then we would know for sure. I don't know. I always got to have the conspiracy side of me. That's just how I roll. PayPal, let me write that down. I will take a look at PayPal. So if you buy a stock and invest in it, how can I add insurance to be safe if it drops? So Rodrigo, you would be in the position of, you want to at least own 100 shares of equity. Well, you kind of have to. So if you're an investor that has more than 100 shares invested into a single company, then you have 100 shares, which then gives you the control to sell option contracts. So once I have physical, which really isn't physical because the shit's all digital anyways, but you know, theoretically, once you have physical digital stock, you then have control of 100 shares of equity into that company, which then allows you the ability to write. Okay, that's a very important word, write. Not sell, write option contracts to other investors, okay? You own 100 shares of Amazon, you can go to the options and you could write a contract to a buyer in the market on Amazon getting option contracts. So if you own Amazon and you want to protect yourself because you think it's going to go down, you could write a call contract to another investor. That investor would then buy or get into an agreement with you on that option contract, many of which will be market makers. Okay, so you could, let's say you think Amazon's going to go down, so you write an option call contract for a $3,500 strike price. If someone, comes and buys that contract from you for Amazon to go up to $3,500 and they're wrong, you will make all the money that they spent on the option as the stock goes down. So though you're losing money on the equity because Amazon is going down, you're bringing money back in from your insurance play, which was writing a long option contract to an investor who thought it would continue to go up, but in fact it went down. So you basically just took all the money they spent on the option and put it in your pocket. I'm a trash can filled with golden nuggets. Lego, baby. That's true, Mr. Hello. Dark pool manipulation. 100%. Best channel out there. I'm here for the stock talk, not you, not YouTube analytics. That's fun. But you got to have fun with it, Green Raven. I apologize. I mean, this is YouTube, right? This is YouTube. Yes. So again, an option contract is equivalent to 100 shares of stock, theoretically. So when you own 100 shares of stock, that gives you the control to write one contract, because one contract in an options market is equivalent to 100 shares of equity. You know, Abraham, it could be. I could definitely work on the thumbnails. They're not the most catchy, but then again, I have no idea how to edit. And then whenever I go to Fiverr and pay someone to do it, they still just... I even give them examples. I'm like, do that. And then it's like, they don't do that. And it's like, but do you know how to do it? So I don't know. Maybe I just haven't found the right guy. Maybe it's probably it. No, it's definitely 100% it. There's definitely some factor there. Am I watching Hood? No, not really. I didn't really watch Hood. No. Haven't really watched it all that much. So my alarm should be going off here soon. Wow. There is... What about when you sell a put? Well, when you sell a put, you would be selling the put because you bought the put. Okay? When you buy a put, you would sell the put to close it. That's why I said earlier, it's very important you don't get your words mixed up in the options market, because in the options market, you're dealing with contracts. When you're dealing with a contract, you don't sell somebody a contract. You write somebody a contract. They then get into agreement with you on that contract. Once the agreement has been closed, at that point, then the buying and selling actually starts. So you first... And the reason you say write and not sell, even though you're kind of selling it, is it's proper wording for the options market. So when you are the one writing a contract to somebody to purchase or get into agreement with, that's really the way it works. But it's still selling. I mean, you're writing a put at that point. Yes, and it's very easy to get mixed up on the terms. Yes. When you write a put, how does that work? Well, we could continue on that discussion, but I will just get carried away. We got to keep going on these stocks. So, but what I will do is I will bring my guy Dave on one of these days, and we'll have an options day because he's a savage at options. Nothing better than cold coffee. All right, give me a second. Just want to kind of peek at my scanners here. Doesn't really look like a whole lot's changed there. BTBT is definitely a stock today. I feel like it's gonna be a short trade, or at least the stock's gonna move bearish. So might continue watching BTBT on the bear side today. Oh, that's right. You can't short BTBT. What a piece of shit. Well, you can on other brokers, but at least not mine. But that's just so annoying. That's exactly what we ran into yesterday when we tried to go short at 13 and couldn't do that. So that's a gone. That play gonna be gone. Etsy down. Yeah, so if we look at Etsy, Etsy sold down most likely to deviation support, so we'll figure it out. Ready? So we'll put Etsy on this chart over here. Yep, there it is. I mean, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to explain, right? When you keep tuning into this channel, I mean, literally, the market moves to deviations every single day. That's where it goes, right? Prices, it just goes to deviations, right? So When we look at the daily chart here, or this is the 4 hour, the 4 hour chart for Etsy has support down at the price of 170.03. The daily chart has support here at the price of 178.38. So pretty much the current long zone for the market on Etsy is from 170 to 178. And you can see once we've gotten into that zone, the market has stopped and people started to buy. Now, whether or not the market's strong enough to bounce it out right away today, I don't know about that. But ideally, this is where you would be looking for a counter trend long bounce on Etsy. Your stop loss would be a successful break and snap through the price of 169. So I think it's worth watching Etsy today, and as the price is in these 170s area for some consolidation and maybe a long play in the future. So just neutral on Etsy for now, but it is into support areas. Again, your support on the day for Etsy is 169.97. Your current resistance, you're on resistance right now, but your resistance could go up to 182. So in the event that the Etsy like kind of pops up at the gates or out of the gates at the open, I think it would pop up to 182 and then it would sell back down. So I think on the day, I think you could have a max long on Etsy to about 182. Yeah, Mr. Montero. I will post the link right now. Oh, by the way, there for some reason the hold on. Man, mornings are just so busy. There's just so much to do. But yesterday I posted links letting everybody know that we have one-on-one mentoring now that we've been trying to open for a long time. Gotta let you know, for whatever reason, that the page is still being restricted. I launched it live, but for some reason it's not actually visible to the public, and when everybody goes to the link, it ends up redirecting them to somewhere else. So I gotta fix that, and when I do, I will let everybody know, but that's probably the reason you were having trouble, if you were having some trouble. Come on, Zoom. Like, I mean, how many times do I have to do it? Yes. All right, guys, give me one second. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so BTBT, I think you might see a target of 15 in the event it doesn't actually sell down today. Also, by the way, for the 400 of you guys tuning in today, just remember that at Trading Clips, you guys can have free scanners, trade ideas, and Benzinga scanners all day. It's the second YouTube channel we run. It is called Trading Clips. So if you go there, subscribe, you'll tune in, you'll have free news, free scanners all day long, every day. Can't read lips. Oh, yes, you can. You're just going to have to learn. Let's check on Bitcoin. So the last time we talked about Bitcoin had made this spike. And then our recommendation was within this long move that you were seeing, so when Bitcoin broke out, your max long target, at least at the time, was up to 42,000 to 44,000. That was kind of the max long you could go for within that market. Now we're just kind of trading sideways. Let me check something else. Yeah, so I think the market right now on Bitcoin was trying to go back down to about 36,400 and then bounce. So let's see. It didn't quite get there, but pretty close. So basically the way that this market's working on Bitcoin was we're pulling back down to the daily chart -1 deviation mark. So I do think Bitcoin's around the corner from kind of picking back up and bouncing from this pullback. So if you're a Bitcoin follower, there you go, just an FYI. AMD still holding down decently well this morning. Your Chrome tab says live market anal. Very nice. As a beginner, would you open a cash account or a margin account? You should probably use a cash account as in beginner. Be a good idea. Ethereum's a little bit different than Bitcoin, obviously, but probably very similar. So Ethereum has bounced back to its mean, so that's why you're seeing these red candles on the daily chart, and then on the 4-hour, we're on the mean. So we're on the 4-hour and the daily chart mean, which typically means we'd be on resistance. So yeah, I mean, ideally your next big move happens on a successful break of the mean, so I don't think that's gonna happen right away. Excuse me. But yeah, once you actually successfully break out through the mean, you'll then see a price on Ethereum up to 31,000 or 32,000, or yeah, 3,200. Excuse me. The name of the scanner channel is Trading Clips. I will post a link here in the chat right now. So for now, I think on the day, I'm going to keep an eye on AMD a little bit. I definitely think that's what I'll watch. Excuse me. So again, when I say breakout, it basically means the stock is actually breaking out. And what's that mean? I mean, a stock's breaking out. How that happens, it could be a candle breaks over another candle, stock pulls back, retests support. However you determine the full breakout, which to me doesn't look like it's breaking out right now. Okay. So again, there's just so many things that you could discuss of a breakout this, candles hold this price, and so on. It's MMAT. Yeah, this is going up. This is kind of interesting. So MMAT, I think, is going to try to get up to the price of $3.90 to $4. You know, I'm going to start like a small bearish bet onto MMAT here. So, yeah, taking a bearish short play. Oh my gosh. Yeah, taking a bearish short play on MMAT here. I'm okay with it going all the way up to the price of okay with seeing MMAT all the way up to 390 to 406. So in the event it pushes all the way up there, then that's fine. That's a good move down. All right, so covered that little short, basically just scalped. I don't want to say I scalped it. I mean, I got about 10 cents on that, so took that little trade off. Part of the reason why is because it hasn't really hit the resistance that I identified. So sometimes if I take a position and the stock didn't really hit the resistance, a lot of times I'll just make that a quicker trade because it could still come up and go to the resistance. And the only reason I know that is because I've taken so many short plays and gotten squeezed out so many times that you just kind of learn. You're like, well, it could go a little lower, but you didn't really hit resistance, so it's probably best just to take the money. And if in the event it does squeeze back up all the way to resistance, then you can enter a new short. But if you miss the full big move, then it just kind of is what it is. How do you always find the good stocks to day trade? Scanners and practice, and just been doing it a long time. And then also, when you watch the market every single day, you just kind of start picking up on things. VNE, this is up. Looks like this is going to be a buyout, so... Oh my gosh. Man. Not going to do anything there. By the way, I shot my best score ever yesterday in golf. I shot a 39. So I was pretty happy about that. 39, and I think I missed 2 birdie putts like a jackass. What's the best strategy if you're limited on day trades because of account? I mean, Terry, the best strategy. I mean, there's multiple. You can do options and do, option plays that don't cost a lot of money. I really don't know. I have no idea. The best strategy is winning, whatever one that leads to. Generally, people with small accounts are going to try to go into some sort of lower risk option play. That would probably be a better question for Dave. So maybe I'll ask Dave that. And yeah, really, I think we'll just try to have a session with my friend Dave, who trades a lot of options, and he'll be able to answer some of your guys' questions on that significantly better than I can. But like personally, if it's going to be trading equities, I think you should use a cash account over a margin account. Huh. Nvidia's still cranking. I've been playing golf a decent amount of my life, more so as I've gotten older, but I grew up playing with my dad. Didn't really take it too seriously, but as I got into my 20s, I joined a golf league, and I've played more and more and more. It's one of my most... I love the sport, personally. Oh, so sad. Would have been an awesome short there. But look at what happened with MMAT. So this is something I want you guys to realize, is that whenever a stock like MMAT blows up and it's so far above the standard deviation for the intraday, it means it's extremely overbought. So you guys can perfectly see here, the market was all the way up here, and its sell-off went where? All the way back to trend. Right? So up here, extremely overbought. This is still overbought. This is slightly overbought. This is barely overbought. This is fair value. So that's the way you're supposed to view the market. It's extremely overbought, still overbought, still overbought, kind of overbought, fair value. Oversold, big oversold, extremely oversold, way too oversold. Markets down here retrace back into trend. Markets up here retrace down into trend. That's typically how the market works on a day-to-day basis. Not every time, but most of the time. Corey, since my early 20s. Tarson, no and yes. I really don't have any sort of data to suggest that one day is stronger than 180 day, but realistically the 1 year day is stronger than the 180 day, but the 180 day will come into play before the 1 year day, and so you still kind of have to use both. But if you were to go look up like mean variance optimization, how robo-advising companies do their robo-advising, it's all based around standard deviation, standard error, mean variance optimization, which is all based around standard deviation, and most of that analysis comes down over the yearly chart. So a lot of these robo-advising companies, they use what's called mean variance optimization, which is based around standard deviation, and pretty much, to put it simply, just know that they use mean variance optimization normally on a yearly outlook. So that's why I always tell people to use a 180 day and a 1 year day chart for standard deviation, because the computerized systems, robo-advising systems, that's what they do. They use mean variance optimization, which is derived from standard deviation, and they use that on daily charts or 1 year time frames. So I'm trying to tell you to use 1 year time frames because that's where you're going to find computerized algorithms buying and so on. Am I considering the news on MMAT? Yeah, I consider the news. So if you look at the news, it says that they're going to be acquired. That's awesome, right? So they're going to be acquired. Stock blows up to overbought. So yeah, I was considering the news in that trade too. Yes, I was. I haven't, yeah, they are pretty much the same. I was actually doing some research into standard error, but I didn't do enough research to really come to any conclusions that I felt were giving me any extra edge. But that could also be the fact that I could be doing things wrong, and I just don't have a good enough understanding of it. EBET, this is kind of interesting. I'm gonna pass. Mr. Montero, we've already been over this. So far, no success on TradingView. I mean, yeah, Bollinger Bands, you can use Bollinger Bands. Again, it's not going to be the exact same as standard deviation channels. But again, Bollinger Bands are extremely common indicator that a lot of people do use, yes. Which is also kind of derived on the same concept of standard deviation. It's very similar. mRNA. Gotta be bearish. Gotta be. Actually, I have no idea. This thing just refuses to come down off these highs, but I feel like it should. I mean, yeah, this thing's getting real up there. Yeah. I would probably be more on the fence of watching mRNA bearish over the next couple weeks as opposed to bullish. Some hobo. Yes, I do have a day trading course. It pretty much engulfs everything that I know. We used to have a chat room, which just ended recently. We still have a chat room, but we offer live trading rooms, weekly classes, one-on-one mentoring, day trading course. That's pretty much it. In the future, that will probably include things regarding personal finance like credit cards and debt and mortgages and all sorts of that. So, in the future, you should expect that Boiler Room Trading, which we might even change the name to just the Boiler Room, is just going to be an all-inclusive personal finance, educational, investing, custom-coded scripts. I mean, pretty much just trying to create a whole universe of financial everything. So for now, it's primarily based on trading because it's just kind of where everything started with me. But it's going to slowly evolve as the years go on. You teach golfing? No, not yet, but I'm trying to convince myself to gain the confidence to do a golfing YouTube channel. I really want to, because I want to have something else outside of, just this that I can look forward to. And yes, no shit, you can make a lot of money from YouTube. Yes. So don't think that I'm some holy grail guy that just wants to go play golf, and I love playing golf. I play golf all the time, and I'm like, well, if I play all the time, I could just record videos of me playing, and guess what? People will watch it on YouTube. It's a guarantee. They will probably watch it. You do that for a couple of years playing a game that you love, and next thing you know, you're making a couple $1,000s a month off of YouTube from just playing golf. So yes, it is a business move, but YouTube's a fantastic place to be. As long as you can gain the confidence and put yourself out there, it works wonders. It really does. So anyways, I'm trying to build the confidence to do that on my downtime and my extra time throughout the days. Because then maybe one day I'll be 40 years old and all I have to do is just basically play golf every day for fun on YouTube, and then I'm retired. And that's really my main goal. And then have a bunch of rental properties, and I really want to retire by like 35, 40. That's my objective. We'll see. DKNG earnings worth watching. Yeah, I could take a peek. I'm not quite there. 1 second. DKNG, sorry. Oh, DKNG hasn't reported earnings yet. So this would be a good one. So this will be, DKNG will be one of the stocks that we double back on about 11 o'clock to do the whole option chain earnings move projection. So DKNG will be one of them. Alrighty, folks. The only thing we have to do before we get this day started at 9:30 a.m. is make sure you guys tickle the like button. Give it a little finger swipper magoo. I asked for the Bright Health ticker, which you might have sent in chat, and then I just didn't see it. So if you could just send me the ticker for Bright Health, I will take a peek at that for you. You're saying HUSN. HUSN was a penny stock from earlier. I looked at, never really did any analysis on at the time. Pretty much you're late. HUSN. Unless HUSN is meant to have like an extremely phenomenal day, then you're pretty much late to the party. I'll explain. All right, so if you look at this time frame, you can see right there, 466 gives you a +2 deviation mark. And if we go to the daily chart, you're gonna like, well, kind of. How are we gonna say this? There's so much going on right here, but you're just going to have to follow along. It's just basically it. All right, so pretty much the resistance right now on the day for HUSN is about 460. In the event you break through 460, you probably get a spike to 490, and then the stock's going to come down. So really for me, I'm not looking for anything more than the price of 490 today. And right now, if I was looking to be long HUSN, it would only be up to the price of 460 right now, because you would go long, you would hit resistance, the market would most likely pull back here, unless you were really lucky and it broke through on first attempt. First attempts are less likely to break. That being said, max long HUSN for me up to $5. Resistance on the day is 465, 460, so you won't hit 490 until you break 460, 465. Okay. We did talk about the AM McSizzle, but we will look back at that. But first, I want to look at BHG because it was a request from quite a bit ago. BHG. Big downtrending stock. It just bounced back to its resistance. So the long move that you're seeing back up with BHG is pretty much done. You probably have a move maybe up to 10. I think 10 would be the max move you look for the time being. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, we just got to the 4-hour mean. We're slightly above it. So for right now, the way that I would look at this is the current bounce you are seeing, the target of that bounce was this zone. So you've just gotten to the starting point of the resistance zone with BHG. I think the top of it's up to 10. So I wouldn't be looking for anything more than 10 on BHG for the day. Probably in general for a little bit. Tied in, yeah, the course definitely teaches price action, candlesticks, all that stuff. It definitely needs to be updated because I'm smarter now than what I was before. So there's more that needs to go into it, but yes, it does. AMC. Wow. Would you look at that? So you can see AMC is bouncing right now, which is whatever. Which is still a part of the analysis, right? People might think that this isn't a part of the analysis, but it is, right? So the recommendation is you only want to be long in this box or when the market reclaims the price of 33.80. So there's a long move taking place, right? But this is a counter trend long move in a downtrend. It only takes back the downtrend when prices get up and above that white dotted line and start trading above. So if you're looking for like a confirmation buy, it would be as the market gets up and over the white line and holds, okay? If you're looking for a reversal dip buy long, then you're waiting until the price goes down here. If you're just trying to trade intraday momentum, regardless of what I just said, then you would be jumping in long on AMC with a max target right now of 33.68. Because remember, we said 33.68 is the current resistance. In order for the bullish market to take back control of AMC, they have to get above that point. That would be most likely where the bulls try to force the market up to until the bears are like, yo, 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 no, no, no. So for me today, it does look like AMC is long, all right, based on just the way it's moving. I don't think I would be short yet. There's two places that I would be bearish AMC for the time being. It would be at this orange line, orange dotted line, and I won't explain why, but just know it's either move to here in bearish, or I think a move back up to here in bearish. The move up to 33.73 would be extremely impressive. That I am not expecting happens, but I'll mention it because it will probably end up happening. Watch. So again, the analysis would be either long down here, try to trade intraday momentum long back up to 33.80 and then sell. And then only really be swing long if the market takes back control of 33.80. Shoo. All right, we're done with that. That's all we got there. All right, it's 9:27. Give me a second. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go refill up on coffee, and we'll be back. Alrighty, we're back, and I changed my shirt because it was getting a little bit sweaty. So let's go back. We're going to take a peek at pins here. Let's see what you're doing. Still nothing. Still nothing there. VAX, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I see ZY just hit the scanner. Hadn't taken a peek at it yet. mRNA still holding strong. There goes AMD down. This ZY, again, pretty interesting. Wow. Yeah, ZY is that's kind of interesting. It makes me a little nervous because it's such a big gap down. Yeah, so if ZY gets up into prices of like 15, 16, there would definitely probably be a short in that area. And AMD still selling down. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on ZY for when it opens. Yeah, I was thinking AMD might make it down towards prices of 113, 114 on this kind of move that we're seeing. So we'll see how that plays out. Have yet to really see AMC. Oh, what do you know? Look at AMC. All right, so where did AMC go to? Remember what we said? AMC up to that orange line and then down. So AMC getting absolutely mix-smoked. Still waiting on ZY to unhalt here currently. The SPY is almost, well, SPY pretty much went to the first price target we mentioned, which was 40, like 40. So I'm going to continue watching this AMC on the bear side. I think we're going to continue lower with AMC. There goes the SPY up through 440. Again, we had that target up to like 440.90-ish. Yeah, MVIS, I did peek at that earlier for like a half second. AMC is like still magically like holding, kind of. Oh, ZY back open. There goes AMC down lower, so that's good. Again, ZY, kind of interesting. I think it might, like I said, get up to like 1475-ish. It's really overbought right now, so it's kind of sketchy to add long to it. Covered a little bit on AMC short. ZY, again, moving up. Like I said, $14.75 to like $16, I think, could be like the max target within this long move you're currently seeing. Good downside move from AMC. Beautiful. Started a very small short on the stock ZY. Basically, if it snaps down, I'll make a little bit. It's okay if it squeezes all the way to $15, $16. Covered a little bit on the ZY drop there, locking in a little bit of money in case I'm wrong. ZY continuing down. It's at about +4 deviation on the intraday. I wonder if the momentum is shifted to bearish. Momentum's not quite bearish on ZY. So I'm covering on ZY fully. It's holding up pretty well. I mean, if it breaks down, it breaks down. But again, like I said, I still have price targets all the way up to like 14.50 to 16, and I would hate to be in a short that blows all the way up there. But we'll see. Oh boy. Ugh. The pins trade is almost green. Been in that since yesterday. So that's kind of making its way back to green. That's good-ish. What's my take on Hood? Well, I don't really have much of a take there. you're just following intraday price action, trying to figure out when sellers or buyers get beat. I really don't have much of analysis on Hood. I don't really do the best analysis when it comes to IPOs or recent IPOs. That's why I generally don't touch too heavily on them, because my analysis just isn't as good. ZY still holding up. Let me put that on the screen. Okay, so ZY is over +4, still holding pretty well. Again, it's high risk to be long at these prices. That's my take on Rohu, Mr. Rohu. So my take on Roku is that Roku has bounced back today almost to resistance. Added back another small short to ZY, very small, just kind of retesting this new bearish movement we're seeing. Again, if it fails, that's fine. It's a pretty small position. Like I said, this thing could still make its way all the way to that like 14, 15 price. So yeah, I figure with not AMC, but with Roku that the market was trying to get up to maybe 402.33. Definitely got traders fighting there on ZY right now. Momentum just shifted to dark blue on TTM. We'll see if this candle closes bearish. Oh, FLGC making a move. Yeah, that's on the bull side for sure. Even halted. Yeah, you might look for FLGC to reach a price of... I really don't. It's kind of fugazi. Yeah, I would say that FLGC maybe has a max price today of 14 to 13 bucks, and I don't even think I would really try to trade to 14 to 13 at this point. If you were already long from earlier, then yes, but to take new entries trying to target up to 13, 14 right now on FLGC seems like a bad idea. There's a FLGC up to 1271. What is the TTM indicator? That's exactly what it is. It's the TTM indicator. Basically helps you identify when momentum is shifting from positive to bearish, essentially. AMC, trying to go through like a little mini bounce right now. Don't really think it's worth doing anything on for the time being. This ZY continuing to hold up pretty impressively well. Still trading over +4 deviation on the day though, so again, it's still into an overbought location within the intraday perspective. You want to, if you're not seeing the same price levels, it's either because you're on the wrong time frame or not the same time frame, or it's because you have not fit the studies to your channel or to your chart, which basically means you go to the gear icon, go to this gear icon, then you go to time axis or price axis, and you change the setting fit studies. Normally it'll be clicked, you want to uncheck that, and then you should come up with the correct levels. So ZY basically sitting there right at break even. The only way the short trade works is if we get a 4 deviation breakdown move. All right, there goes ZY. That just snapped 4 deviations on the downside. So this might be where the momentum picks up if we can break through previous price action bottoms. There go the previous price action bottoms, and I'm going to take that short off because I'm just trying to be conservative and easy. It probably goes a little bit lower, maybe even down to 1098, but that's cool. So that works. AMD spiked back up, and it kind of rolled down. Sorry. Excuse me. Maybe we need some of this coffee in the system. Hood kind of moving bearish for the time being. Nothing too special there. Also, just an FYI, guys, I will not be streaming live next Monday because next Monday I will actually, well, I might be streaming live. I can't say that I won't be, but the schedule might just be a little different because I'm going to be hosted on another YouTube channel, The Beginner Day Trader. He asked me to come on to his channel, kind of do like maybe like, just like sit down with him on his stream, and I'm like, sure, why not? So Monday morning, I will be at the Beginner Traders YouTube channel on his stream with some traders there because he invited me. So again, Monday morning, I'll probably be on a different channel, at least for an hour. Who knows the timing yet of it, but yeah. Okay, we can take a look at Zoom here. ZM. Zoom on the up currently. Looks more bullish than it does bearish. You came off of a support dip buy today, so I would be on the bull side of Zoom today. Max target I would have for Zoom would be up to 411.70 to... yes, there is a discount. Sorry, I was actually going to grab that earlier. Give me just a second. For anybody who is interested in taking the Boiler Room Trading day trading course, I will send you guys a coupon right in there. I'll give you guys the hookup on this one. There, I am posting a link into the chat. You follow that, and you'll get 40% off. 40. I usually only do 20. It's not like it's going to kill me or hurt me. But anyways, that's a 40% discount code of the day trading course. Basically, it's going to get you in line with everything that I'm doing here on this screen. And that also gets updated as time goes on, so you always get lifetime access. Also, if you join the day trading course, you also get access to our premium chat room, which, by the way, right now really isn't anything too amazing because we're kind of shifting over our business model. So we're still trying to figure out how we're going to interact in the day trading or premium room. But just know that when you get into the day trading course, you're also given lifetime access to the premium chat room, which is just a Discord channel. Nothing too crazy, but you do get access to that as well. Alrighty. Just literally just go to YouTube and type in beginner trader, and you should see his YouTube channel. His name's John. His name's John. So there goes AMD going lower. I gotta make an announcement 1 second in our chat room about the swing trade we're in, so give me a second. Well, we really only offer one course, but I can say that probably over the next couple years, I mean, that course is really going to develop into like significantly more than what it is, because right now it's mainly focused on day trading, but I think what we're going to do is just make an all-inclusive course, which will be day trading, swing trading, scalping. So there's just a lot more that has to go into it, but I can wholeheartedly tell you that 100% it's all the same. What I mean is, literally it's all the same. Scalping, swing trading, day trading. You think they're different? They are. But they're all the same in the sense that if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing correctly and finding the correct areas to buy and sell, then the entry point for a scalp would be the same entry point as your swing trade, as would be your day trade. What I'm saying is, if you were able to find the best opportunity to buy a stock and or sell a stock, which would create the best maybe possible move within that market, that best possible move entry buy point would generally be the best entry point and buy point for a day trade, a swing trade, and a scalp trade. Obviously, if you're scalping, you're not going for a big move, but you want a move that's going to be decent enough to profit off of, and you're not want to go into a scalp trade just going for like 5 cents when the spread's a couple cents and you might get knocked around. So what I'm saying is, the buy point for a really good day trade a lot of times is the buy point for a swing trade. And in order to make money scalping, you need a decent enough move in order to make money. And a decent enough move is going to come from a lot of those day trading and swing trading entries in the first place. So what I'm just basically getting at is, for me, when I use standard deviation, the best trades that I take are usually off of deviations. My best swing trades that I take are usually off of a deviation, because a lot of times that's going to be the start of the move. So if you can figure out where the start of the move is, you're getting the lowest price possible, and then you have the biggest gain to follow afterwards. So if you can figure out the best possible price to buy off of, which I feel are standard deviation most of the time, you'll find yourself either buying the absolute low or shorting the absolute high, which means that's the beginning of the move, which means you'd have the best opportunity to make the most profit. So then again, the same entry I'd use for day trading, swing trading, and scalping. It's all the same, in my opinion. Other people will tell you differently, and that's fine because they have a different approach. But like this, for example, like, yeah, you could trade bearish in this move and scalp that move, right? 100%, absolutely, you could totally do that. Like when we go look at AMC, right? When we look at AMC, which by the way, still short on AMC, but if we look at AMC, right, you could scalp that move down, right? Like when this candle breaks that low, it's going to go lower. You scalp it down and make money. Sure, right? But wouldn't you much rather start scalping AMC up here? Because if you started scalping AMC up here, well, then it just kept going, right? So if you can do your best job at finding out where the low risk entry prices are at, which is going to start the beginning of a trend, that's going to be your best entry for a day trade, your best entry for a swing trade, and your best entry for a scalp, because you could just turn your scalp into a longer trade. I wholeheartedly believe that most people gear towards scalping because they actually can't. More people gear towards scalping because it's easy, right? You can get in and you can get out. You don't have to spend a lot of time in the market. There isn't a whole lot of questions that's going to go on with your trade. You're not going to have to wait through dips. You're not going to wait through this. You're not going to go, oh, why is it doing this? Why is it doing that? So a lot of people gear towards scalping because in general, just predicting the market's freaking hard. So for me, I believe I've come to an area in my investing world where I'm pretty good at picking when things are going to start and the direction they're going to keep going. So if I can figure out the direction something's going to keep going, then there's almost no point for me to scalp the move because it should continue to go. So in all those entry points, they're always the same. All right, if a stock is going to bottom at $5 and go up, then $5 is the best buy point, regardless if it was a scalp, a swing trade, or a day trade, or a long-term investing, right? If $5 is the bottom and it's going to go up for forever, then $5 is your scalp entry, your day trade entry, and your swing trade entry. That could be rebutted many different ways, I'm sure. Yeah, you know, some people actually ask me to play music, and then I'm like, I tried it, but wasn't a big fan of it, so I don't really think we're going to be doing that. Still holding the bags on AMC. Hope it will reach 100K. Can you check Uber? It looks oversold. Yeah, Uber is, I don't even have to look at it. I can just tell you. Uber is sold off down to our price targets mentioned from a couple days ago. So Uber has just now entered the buying zone. So this would be a good time to start considering Uber as a long trade. It might not work right away, but we're definitely entering into an accumulation zone. The price that Uber is at right now is a price where institutions, hedge funds, high-frequency trading computers, robo-advising companies, anything using mean optimum variation are pretty much starting to look at Uber as a buy point. But I don't know how quickly it's going to happen. So I'm assuming it'll take a couple days for it to all play out. But nonetheless, I do think you should be, for the most part, bullish on Uber. Oh, yeah, actually, I actually have a small swing on Uber already. I didn't even mention that. So yeah, I have a small swing on Uber already starting. So I'm already long Uber from this morning pre-market. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I was buying Uber this morning here. So I'm already long Uber. It's already working, so that's cool. Thumbs up. I mean, there's really not much more I can say other than just like 3 days ago, we said it was going to go down to here, and this is where people were going to buy it. So hopefully it keeps going up. Actually, it probably will continue to go up. So how about we do that? We'll give you the upside price targets on Uber here. Because I kind of need to know them too. I'm freaking swinging this thing. So let's see. Yeah, anybody who is a premium member that's watching this, I did enter a swing trade onto Uber, which was not mentioned in the Discord chat. It just kind of happened this morning pre-market. I didn't really think much of it. But yes, I am swing long Uber. If you're wondering, I do believe we're on the counter trend long of the stock. So the first target up, I believe, I got to check the other time frame, but the first target up today on AMC, on Uber is this price of $43.45. That is the first upside target that Uber's probably trying to get to, unless there's something else on this time frame I'm switching to right now. Okay, oh, never mind. Oh, kind of. It's kind of funky looking, but I'm gonna say, so I mean, generally speaking, Uber already hit its first price targets for the day. After changing time frames, I would come up with a first price target resistance zone on Uber to like right here. Now, this price zone that I'm showing you, these are half deviation prices, which I usually don't hold as high of a standard on. I think that they can be easily broken through. They're just, they're just not as strong. The solid deviations are always stronger. So whenever it comes to a half deviation, just always take them with a grain of salt because they're just a little finicky. So we've already retraced on Uber back to the half deviation price points of the move. If it's going for a full move, a legitimate full deviation move, then we will end up seeing Uber up to prices of $44.65. I mean, oh, that's because I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Excuse me, $44.65 to That would be impressive. I really don't think that's going to happen. So I will say right now, for me, the max long move that we could really suggest would be at most a gap fill to 45.70. For a second, I was going to say 47 to 48, but that seems like a stretch. But it's possible. So before I'd even consider telling anybody $48 target on Uber, I would probably first say we would first have to get back up into like the zone of like 44 and just kind of see what happens there first. But yeah, currently long Uber on the up. Yeah, that 40% off coupon code was for the course. I'll repost the link there right now. Just reposted for you. So it's right at the bottom of the chat. You're loving the conversation. Oh. Well, don't you wish your wifey could talk to you like this? Well, mine doesn't, so I'm in the same boat as you, bud. We're fucked. Stock MDIA. Moving. Take all your money and just put it right on MDIA. Only good things can happen. That is a 100% joke. Please do not do that. Absolutely not. And just so everyone's clear, okay, just so everybody doesn't have any conclusions coming to their mind, thinking that I'm just sitting here talking nonsense, I am trading. I am taking little trades here and there as we go through this day. That's my P&L today, which has been a pretty good day. So though you're not seeing trades, they are still happening. I am still executing and doing things on my behalf. I'm just trying to... It's really hard to trade and talk and do everything all at once, all perfectly. But anyway, so again, there are trades happening. The things that we're talking about are real. They are going on behind the scenes. So yeah, that's that. So again, I'm not just here spewing you guys a bunch of bullshit. It's just an easier lifestyle for me is all. So the stock hood is going down. Not that I'm thinking you should really do anything with it, just mentioning the stock's going down. I highly, obviously I'm going to make money if you buy my course. That's a no-brainer. But I always just suggest just talk to anybody that's taken it, anybody who's an elite member of our chat room, anybody who's taken it in the past. There normally isn't anything bad to say about it. I have come across a few students, customers, clients, whatever you want to categorize anybody as. I hate saying students because then it makes me feel like somebody's beneath me, so I don't like calling people students, and then I don't really like calling people customers. It's just clients, people that have worked with me and through our company. Usually don't have anything bad to say about the product or the course. The only criticism I've received usually is that it's just not in line with what people are trying to do. I'm not really into day trading. I was looking for more swing trading, and it's really not inclusive to swing trading. Or someone's like, I'm looking for long-term investing, and this really doesn't cover it. So it's usually along the lines of the material in the course isn't quite what somebody's looking for, and that's usually what we run into. So, which was another reason why I was telling you guys as the years go on, and I stop being a lazy little girl and I get my ass on it and really update things in there. It should be more inclusive to day trading, some swing trading, and some long-term investing stuff. But again, you can't make one course freaking so big that no one wants to tackle it, because then it can become a daunting task when you have 60,000 30-minute videos to go through. I mean, shit, we got kids to raise here. We have golf to play, folks. We don't have time to look at this beautiful face for a couple weeks before we get the big picture. No, it's not a monthly price. It's just a one-time payment, and then you get access for life. David Avina says he makes money 70% of the time since taking the course. That is fantastic. Yeah, exactly. Like I hate the word students. It's always like, oh, my students this and my students that. It's like, clients, friends, family. Dominic Toretto for family, bro. All right, so yeah, just having fun here. Haven't really thought about anything recently over the past little bit. So, wait, where did that go? Oh, yeah. Pins is kind of working. So let's go double back and look at pins. Pins is looking a little better there. I think I'm even going to add a little bit more to pins long. Just a little tickle mergoo. Yeah, we're going to beef up the pins trade just slightly a bit. So added long to pins. Again, still have price targets on pins back to like 63s, 66-ish. ZY was just asked about again. So this is a perfect example of where most people go wrong. Ready? Watch this. Hold on. 1 second. All right, we're going to do something kind of different here. Okay. Oh, my charts are going to run so slow after I do this. Well, actually, maybe they'll run faster. So I'm just going to delete everything off this chart because I don't need it for what I'm doing. Delete. Remove all. That's smart. Use your brain, bud. You're getting there, kiddo. All right, so when we remove everything off the chart here, okay, so this is the beauty of standard deviation, right? So when we remove everything off the chart here, what do you see? Right? So if we were to take everything off my chart, all you see is like, oh, this looks like one of those pennant bull flag patterns that, I always see in the books, or I always see on someone's screen or a YouTube video. This means I should be buying, which arguably is correct in some instances, right? So from this, you would say this is a perfect, beautiful pattern, like it should go, it should break out, which, by the way, remember what we said, this still has a potential target up to like $14 to $16. If it gets to $14, $16, I will be a bearish trader there. So just know if you're long ZY and this ends up ripping all the way to $14, $16, I am going to start selling the stock downwards on you, okay? But if you look at this chart with ZY, it looks like this perfect bullish pennant. You've seen it in YouTube videos. You've seen it on Google. The market tells you you're supposed to buy the breakout over the top, right? Well, when we go back and actually look at my chart with standard deviation, you will realize that this market is creating a bullish, what appears to be a bullish pennant in an extremely overbought location. You are currently trading at +3 and +4 deviations on the day, which basically means it's really high. So you're getting this wedge formation. It looks bullish, but taking place in a bearish selling zone, which you would never know unless you run this system. So for everybody besides the 383 of you watching this right now in the market, they're all looking at this as a potential bullish pennant to trade up and out, which the only way they're going to be successful is if they squeeze the short sellers out. Because again, this on ZY, we're at +3 and +4. This is a known selling location. This is where I would short. I already did. Remember earlier, I'm like, I'm going to short ZY. I'm shorting ZY again. That's because we were into a selling location. Remember when I first started selling ZY short? It was when we first came into these prices. Remember, first attempt at resistance, always the strongest. This would be a second and a third attempt, theoretically becoming a little weaker, right? Shorts would get squeezed here soon over the top. I'm not short anymore. First attempt, always strongest. So this is a known selling location. If this breaks out, It's because of all the people selling it short, buying back the stock. If that happens and this does break out and squeeze, the market makers are going to use the short selling or the short sellers on the market here in that location. The market makers will use the stop losses of the short sellers to blow the price all the way up to $14.50 to $16. Okay? That's what's going to happen. Then, if that does all happen, what will happen next is Mr. Connor is going to sell it here short. Okay? You will also see a bearish divergence take place. If you look at the RSI, look at the RSI here. The momentum went all the way up to 92 on the first initial spike with ZY. The momentum is now down at 59. Not that 59 matters. What really matters is, in the event that this breaks up, squeezes up into this 1450 to 16, the market will create a new high on ZY, and the momentum will most likely be less than that of its first move, which will create a negative divergence into the stock as the market reaches into its next resistance zone. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm basically trying to predict the entire future for you here in the stock market, which usually isn't pretty easy to do, but we'll see what happens. So there goes ZY, kind of peaking up there. I feel like it's kind of worth an attempt, but it always scares me trying to trade up and out of 4 deviations. This is where I struggle. Is sometimes the market will break these high levels and go higher, and I find myself hesitating because I know too much. It's almost like I know too much for my own good, that it prevents me from doing that. It's like a protective measure almost. I'm like, it could go there, but you're also trading at it's a high risk move. But if it works, it's a big boy. And that's the thing. We entered into such a good selling point on the day that people are betting bearish. And I know that. And I know we have a resistance mark to 1450 to 16. And it's like, the reason it would get there is because you forced the shorts out. So it's less of you trying to trend the market to like a price target. It's more of you trying to beat out a bunch of people shorting the stock to rip a squeeze is really the case. So you're basically in a battle right now with ZY. But if everything that I just said happens, I mean, we have to at least get up to 400 likes today. Okay, we have to at least send Connor like a little goodie bag to his house. You can send me a bag of tea. You could send me the directions to the hospital of where your firstborn child's going to be so that I can meet you in person to shake your newborn child's hand, whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable. Okay. So again, all that being said, even that, look at that, ready? Like, look at how clean that pennant looked. Look, it looked like it was going to break out, right? It did, and then it didn't. And that's because this is currently trading at such high margins for the day that it's extremely high risk. The only way it goes is you have to force the shorts out, which is possible, but think about what you're doing, right? You're playing a game of a battle. Who's going to win the game? So you have to basically convince all the other people betting bearish that they're wrong and force them out, and that's the only way this move works. Hood trapping a few bulls before losing a bottom. Doesn't look so. Doesn't look like it. No, we've talked about Pinterest. Long story short, long buy is Pinterest. I think that continues up overall. Did he already talk? I already read that. May I ask you where SCR is targeting? Sure. Probably targeting to your grandma's house right about now. Because that's a great place to be. Your grandma's awesome. That's why. Nothing else, okay? And the reason I say your grandma's house is because your grandma lives on the moon, kid. So, this thing's going to the moon. No. So SCR Why have I not seen this today? Like, you know, that happens sometimes. I just get so carried away. It's like, wow, what is this doing? All right, yeah, I was gonna say it's probably at resistance. I'm just guessing, but it's probably on resistance. Yep. Look at where the top of the, like, literally, look at where the top of today's trading candle is on SCR. Look at that. Right on +2. So chances are we probably pulled back off that line. Not, I know we did. It's not a chance. I already know. Oh, not that big though. Yeah, this is, yeah, no. So, yeah. SCR made it up to 32.45. So it's pretty much, it probably met its target for the day. If you're lucky, you get the further price target, which is like 34. So for right now, I'd say like 34 is max, but you're pretty much on resistance with that. mRNA getting this. Oh. Can we go over McPFE-ish? About it. PFE, I would probably be on the bear side only because it got up to +2 deviations. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a great analysis for it, but I think PFE is kind of trying to pull back closer to the 9 moving average. So I don't think you're going to get a bunch of big bullish moves out of PFE for right now. Ideally, what you'd be looking for is for PFE to continue moving in the immediate. You want it to stay over the price of, excuse me. You want it to stay over the price of, I don't even know what that is. Hold on. Staying over the price of about 45.03. If it starts to dip below 45.03, then that's probably where it's going to start to be slightly more bearish. So MNND actually had to cut a swing trade on that the other day and took a pretty big loss on it. So, figures you would fucking pop today, you dick. Yeah. But anyways, so MNND cut losses because it does look like it's going to try to trend through the -1 deviation. So I'm pretty much just neutral to slightly bearish on MNND nowadays. MRIN, the only thing we're waiting for MRIN is the hope. Holy tits, it's cold. Or hot. What the fuck am I talking about? That's the other problem. You know, I'm going to turn this fan on. Let me know if this fan makes too much noise. I don't think it does, but, you know, it could. So this is on full blast 10. Can you guys hear that? Is anything happening? All right. All right, cool. ZY, Mick Ripper, huh? The old Mick Ripstick, eh? Titan, yes, absolutely. So I wrote the thing script to extend 1 year standard deadline across intraday. Yes, absolutely. That's something that we actually were working on a while ago, but never got it to work. So please send me an email here. I'm going to post my email. So send me an email there. Did I type that right? Connor Bowler. Yep. Okay. So send me an email there. Look at Mick ZY. Yeah, AMC. We'll jump back over there. ZY for the pump. For the pump. Look at ZY Eagle. Yeah, I mean, we're still just overall bearish AMC as a whole. I gotta get over to focus on whatever it's called, ZY. But AMC, I mean, I still had a small play on it, but I just took it off because it's pretty much done. Well, for now. So yeah, ZY, it's pretty close to its desired target, I believe, which would be it's actually updated a little bit. $15 is kind of where that price zone, I think, starts at. We're at $13.90. So yeah, the idea is to hopefully get ZY all the way up to about a $15 price, at least for now. Yeah, MRIN. MRIN. Alrighty, MRI McN. So I am going to ask some favors of you guys because it does appear that YouTube kind of keeps us restricted at about the 3,800 to 4,000 views or viewership. So it doesn't appear that they're really promoting us outwards much. They're really only promoting to the people that are currently within the community. So if you guys would do me a favor and just periodically post our stream to different stock trading areas that you believe people would be interested in viewing our channel. Don't spam anywhere. Don't be unconsiderate. You know, be very considerate of other people's locations. But if you could, you know, share our stream to a couple places to hopefully grow our numbers, because it looks like we might have to do it on our own. But again, we've only been streaming for a couple days, so we'll see how these streams keep populating after about a month or so. But I would be very impressed if after about like a month we're still being contained at the same numbers. So if you could do me a favor, periodically share the stream to friends, family, or anybody that you feel would benefit. I really appreciate that. So there we go. We got ZY up to 1444. So good move. You're starting to get closer to that. You're starting to get closer to that $15 target as we had suggested. I need more rocket emojis in my title. So yeah, ZY, cool move. Yeah, there is a spot to find easy to borrow stocks on Thinkorswim. You can go to tdameritrade.com, log into the online portal, and then it does have like a list of easy to borrow stocks. I'm not exactly sure like where or how to get to it because it's been a while since I've seen it, but I know that it does exist. Yes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't be talking smack about my Nightbot. He's my homie. Many YouTubers use Python scripts. What the hell is a Python script? What does that do? So yeah, anyways, we got the ZY. It's up to about 15. So now we're kind of positioning and waiting to maybe be bearish on ZY at this point. But no, seriously, what do you mean YouTubers use a Python script? Huh. Not sure. Any chance we could look at SND? SND. I know you asked about it a while ago. I just hadn't, there's only so much I can do. SND, lower volume trading stock, so it should be more used for a swing trade candidate than a day trader. Yeah, you should be swing long that. That's a good swing long entry price. Yeah, I mean, more or less, I would be more long bias on that dip, on that bottom, than I would be bearish. So I wouldn't be a seller down there. I would be more of an accumulator to the bull side, I believe. Weekly chart kind of looks like shit, though. Yeah, I mean, and you already kind of missed the buy point, right? If you look at where we went down to like -1 deviations down to 240. Now we're up at 262. It's only a 20-cent difference, but realistically, you've already started your bounce, so you're slightly late. But I would be optimistically more bullish than bearish on that guy. Price targets on Uber. I was trying to remember them off the top of my head, but there is too many. I couldn't, or I can't. Yeah, I will check my email here in just a second. So yeah, the Uber price targets, well, we already kind of met one of them, so we've already reached our first price target. Now we're going for the next one, right? It's always easiest to hit your first, and then it's harder to hit the second, then it's harder to hit the third. So as we continue going up, price targets theoretically become harder to hit. So I believe Uber has made it back to the price that it is desired to be at today. I don't think we're going to be seeing Uber move too much more on the upside. I could be wrong, but for the time being, Uber has made it back to a very good price target. I think the max target within this current market and the way that we're situated within this market would be max of 44 to 45. Okay, I'm really only trying to get it up to probably like 44. But again, Uber's already hit a really good location. I actually just closed a little bit on the Uber swing trade that I had. I just took profit on the trade there at 43, 47-ish. And MRIN, yeah, I was supposed to go to that one. Sorry. MRIN still looks like a pretty steep downtrend, not looking like it's trying to bounce yet. Struggling. It's at the regression trend. So yeah, you might get a bounce here. You're right on regression trend support. Ideally, you're looking forward to stay above the price of 556. How do you find these stocks you decide to trade each day? Pretty much waking up in the market, running a few scanners, and then just watching stocks all day long. That's pretty much it, literally. And then just peeking at them, doing analysis, figuring out whether or not they're overbought, oversold, or they make sense to be long or short, and then that's pretty much it. BNGO. Yeah, I saw BNGO go down because of earnings. I wonder if they're doing the old... Oh, yeah, they're doing the old sniff, snaff, magooster. I see what you're doing here, kids. I see it. You can't fool me. Yeah, no, I'd probably be long BNGO. I mean, after seeing that earnings sell off and then come back up, to me, that's a bullish move. I think you should probably consider being... Yeah, I think swing long BNGO is not necessarily a bad idea. Okay, there goes ZY up to the price of $14.69, so you're about 30 cents off the target of 15. The question is, do we break 15 and go to 16? That I am uncertain of. But we are getting to prices that would make sense to start considering to be bearish, so I am right along the lines of considering being bearish on the stock. ZY. Oh, shibby magoo. Is it my YouTube or stream lags? I mean, there's always a lag or a delay to YouTube regardless, so it might be a few seconds. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to get that fixed today. I posted a link yesterday for the mentoring, and a bunch of people went to it and were like, yo, this isn't working, because when you went to it, it really just directed you to the homepage of our website as opposed to the sales page of the mentoring, which I don't know why. So I'm gonna figure that one out, and then when I do, I'll repost the link tomorrow, and then you guys can sign up for that. No new trades for the moment, just kind of sitting back and watching, really just waiting on this ZY currently. Let's see what's happened with AMC though. Anything good there? So yes, we have canceled out the premium day trading chat room from our site completely, so nobody would get recharged a subscription. And then anybody that was charged a subscription that had time left on their account, we sent out a mass email to everybody. If you didn't receive that email, then we've directed you to contact us through email or through Discord. But anybody who had time left on their premium subscription has now been given access to the Elites Trading Live Room for the duration of their subscription period. And if you don't have access to that, please make sure to direct message me on Discord and I'll get you the proper access. There isn't really a support for the standard deviation study because everything that's in the course regarding the standard deviation is everything that you should have to do to get it set up correctly. So if it's not, then I really, really have no answers. Yeah. So starting a small position back short on ZY, probably should have started that when it was at 1490, but I kind of thought we might go to 16, but whatever. So small short back in on ZY. AMD with the McDumpy-Doo. Oh yeah, bud. Oh yeah. Yep, that just fell down to our target. Remember we said AMD downside target 114? Well, that just happened. So kudos to that one. So yeah, anyways, that was the short play. AMD probably going to bounce a little bit here. So going to take a small long onto AMD on this bottom because I do believe it's a price that should bounce from here a little bit. It's definitely a bearish stock, and I'm not expecting some big, gigantic bounce, but we did retrace down to support. This is support for the day. It just depends on how bearish AMD wants to be. And I was kind of late to that because really I should have been entering on the red line. I was entering in the middle of this candle, so it's not really the greatest entry with the way the market's set up, but figured it's worth an attempt. It's first attempt down at support, so why not? ZY still managing to hold up okay. So we'll see that again, like I said, it still has a potential 16 target. MYMD, I'm sorry that I'm just now getting over to that. I know that it is moving. MYMD. Oh. Well, yeah. Not a ton of thoughts with that one. Maybe you end up seeing $6 today, but I'm kind of going to pass on that for now. There goes ZY rolling over on a candle, but still really not enough to cause anything that great to happen. Yeah, AMD still struggling to do a little higher low move, but we'll see. Come on. ZY starting to roll over a little bit. Added a little more bearish to ZY. Still long AMD. It would really be nice if AMD would actually pop above those previous 1-minute candle highs, and then it would actually create a good trade. Otherwise, it's going to go right back down. Not going to work immediately. Yeah, they're not going to allow AMD to bounce right now, it doesn't look. All right, close AMD. Just too weak on that downtrend to even bounce the deviation mark. ZY still magically holding up. BT. Yeah, BT. I'm not going to trade that for now, but like I said, I think you could still see a target of maybe 15 bucks on that. I would be really pissed if AMD double bottoms and actually bounces here. That would be super frustrating. All right, there goes ZY, snapping a little bit lower for us. That's good. Remember we said resistance would be starting around the 15. We didn't short at the top there, but still in bearish, starting to move down, up about 30 cents on the trade, so that's good. Would love to see this move lower, of course. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I am not sure why ZY would have tanked from... I have no idea why it tanked so much myself. No, I don't think ZY is a long play back to 33 myself. I mean, of course it can go there, but it's not something I would be projecting for right now. Doesn't look like the short trade's going to work so well on ZY. I mean, it's still struggling. They're still holding it pretty well. I mean, it's doing a head and shoulders formation right now. Short sellers are going to stop out as we get over it. So look at this. This is where the stop loss level is. 1 second. So that purple line you see on my chart, that is that's the stop loss level for short sellers right now. 1 second. Ooh, look at AMC coming back, you dirty dog. Wow, really? Yeah, so basically I would assume that goes back up to the previous high and then it's going to see a little resistance, but this is probably a situation now where you look for it to creep back to the all-time or previous high a day, consolidate, and then hopefully break up to the max target on the day of 33.67 for now. So this is the short sellers in the market trying to get it down to the 26.50. This is just unknown magical buying and short selling that's getting squeezed up. So I believe this is the bullish market making its attempt to defend AMC and get it back to this price. Another rolling over candle from ZY there. Is it enough to take ZY down fully, though? And when I say fully, like down towards like 1335 or so. BTB2. Yay, BTBT, it broketh. And again, target BTBT in this move is up to $14.80. There's another 40 cents up from BTBT. I'll take a tiny long trade trying just to get that last little bit of BTBT to 15 and then probably be done with it. Yeah, ZY is just holding up pretty annoyingly. It's just not working. There's people behind that market that keep buying into it and supporting it, probably market makers. So gonna take off on ZY. All done with that. Does look like it's gonna keep trying to kind of pop up and take people out. So there is AM mixed sizzle. All the way back to the previous high. So this would be a first attempt to break out this resistance since we first made it. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it doesn't. I would really hope to see some sort of pullback here before it breaks above the high. But do we get that? Who knows? We'll see. ATCX, that's on the scanner. So there's sort of the pullback starting on AMC. Well, that's annoying for BTBT to pull back and kind of stop right around 1444, even though it still has room up to like 15. So pretty much just going to have to sit through a bearish pullback for the time being. AMD end up double bottoming? Yeah, probably. Might have been just a little too soon on that one. Yep, so I was right. That's the support. That's where the bounce is. So, I mean, like, even sometimes I'll be wrong, but the fact of the matter is my analysis is normally right, even though my trades might be wrong at times. So, again, bounce level, AMC. Called that at 8 this morning. All right, peeking back at AMC. AMC is right at that high, trying to take it out. BTBT still holding up okay. Thoughts on BTBT is a max target of 15, so either it goes up to 15 now, or it pulls back and then tries to bounce and then go to 15, I believe. AMC, I believe, is just going to be seeing sort of a pullback here, and then it's going to try to break this high and run up into the zone of 3360s is kind of what I was thinking. So we'll see if that plays out here. So there goes the pullback on BTBT, as we mentioned. I could see BTBT pulling back all the way to 1370s here. All right, so there goes BTBT down to about 1370 on that pullback. And I mean, hell, it might literally top here for the day, 50 cents short of the $15 target. Sometimes that happens, and it's just super annoying. So if the trend is going to stay going up immediately, BTBT should not come down below 1370. AMC is coming down into a +2 deviation mark, so good chance AMC pulls down to about 3168, and then the market might try to pick back up off this pullback. All right, so there's AMC down to about 3160. We'll see if the buyers come in to support the market here. There's AMC on that 2 dev mark. It's trying to hold. We'll see if we get the bounce off there. All right, AMC starting to bounce exactly where we suggested it was probably going to try to bounce, but is it enough to retrace and take us back towards highs? That's the objective of AMC. BTBT held that 1370 support. The question is it enough to really keep pushing us back up towards 15 on the day? Come on, bulls. Hold the pullback on AMC. There you go, bud. There you go, bud. Yeah, but they got to get it, for this to kind of work right now. The bulls got to get AMC on the 1-minute chart back over 31.90 to cause immediate sellers or shorts on that to be slightly nervous. But through this 31.90, that's where you'd get the aggressive candle pop move. So still some work to do there. BTBT still trading like dog shit, never really hit its upside target, making me fearful that it's not actually going to do that today now. Then again, we just went on a gigantic run, so a pullback makes sense. It's just annoying when they shy their targets by like 30, 40 cents and never tag. Yeah, up about $3.55 on the swing trade with Uber now. So that's good. Still in a little bit long on Uber. BTBT is almost over previous 1-minute red candle, which would probably cause a little pop. Is it strong enough? AMC pulled back down to the 2-dev mark. So this is the attempt of the bears to force another move down. If they're unsuccessful here, then the stock will reverse back up and probably turn into more of a long move. BTBT, nice little bounce back up. AMC continue to hold that immediate support over the +2. If we can get over these red candle here, we're going to pop. Come on, baby, give the old popper magoo. There you go, kiddo. See that pop over the red line? That is the level at which the short sellers that have entered this little market are starting to cover over that 1-minute candle. That's why you're seeing aggressive movement there. And also because you have intraday long traders starting to buy as that candle is breaking up. Whereas we're looking to dip buy down here on supports, a lot of retail markets are looking to buy here. So ideally, it's their buying pressure that's helping us make money off the dip. But I swear, this is all luck. I have zero idea I have no idea what any of this is. So right now, the objective of the AMC market is basically to get back up and over that little red line there and hold, and then we should see another move up. Otherwise, basically the market needs to stay above the price of 31.71 right now to stay on the bull side, that is. I've had almost one coffee, because normally I drink like half and then it goes cold because I'm always talking, and then I warm it up and drink another half, so usually like 1 cup. Come on, AM McSizzle. Come on, Matt. Come on, Trey. Load up, kids. We're ready to rip, Tater Chip. Oh. So we're going to be on here a little longer than 11 because I just want to see how this BTBT and this AMC plays out. After that, I'm done. I'm retiring. Come on, AM McSizzle. Let go. Hit 33.75 so I can look amazing. BTBT, hit 15, then really pull back so I can look amazing. Come on, market makers. Help me out today. It could look that way, probably because I'm just running so many things on my charts that things are slow. So I'm really not sure. There's always discrepancies from broker to broker. It always happens. People think it's manipulation, and it's just the time things take to process and go through the systems, and how much things you have on your chart, and so on. Oh, yes. Totally forgot about that. I'm really glad you said that because I would have forgot. But yes, we will take a look at the earnings. Yeah, the earnings sync for DraftKings. I won't forget about that. But before we do that, I'm going to take a look at pins really quickly. Pins kind of grinding up a little bit. Where's Uber at? Uber is up to 44. Let's see how close that is to our next target on the upside. I mean, yeah, next target up was like 44.64. So I mean, it's still doing what it's got to do. Oh, man, sorry. BTBT, that trade is still red because I bought the top, of course. I would expect the likely that AMD goes lower is higher, so I would still be on the bear side of AMD overall because it's coming from such a high point and selling down. It's probably meant to be on its downtrend for the time being. Oh, let's bring up AMC really quickly. So it looks like AMC pulled back a little bit. That's annoying. That's not what you wanted to see. So we're going to pass on that guy. Pretty bearish move there on AMC, but nonetheless. BTBT, I mean, it's just kind of pointless. Anyways, just gonna sit in BTBT and just kind of wait and see what comes of this guy. It looks like AMC might be trying to pull back a little bit more here, more aggressively. That doesn't look amazing. No, I don't usually set stop losses for my... I do. My stop loss is in my head. My stop loss is basically when I believe that the trade I'm working on is no longer favoring me and it doesn't make sense to hold, as opposed to setting hard stops and things like that, because I'm normally watching the stock, so it's just like, okay, I don't think it's going to do what I want to do, and I'll just take it off. All right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to, this is something that pretty much everybody in this chat should pay attention to, because what we're going to be doing is going over how you predict how to find how much a stock is going to move for earnings. So we are going to bring up DraftKings here in a second. Okay, so we're going to go over to DKNG because DKNG is meant to report tonight, I believe. Let me just double check. That is on 8/6. Oh, maybe they do tomorrow. So that's not good. Hold on. Any big... Hold on. Yeah, excuse me. So, what are we gonna do here? We got to find a stock that's gonna report earnings tonight. So, is anybody? I don't have my info up, but yeah. So, is this SPCE do that today? 8. No, earnings would be on 8/5 after hours. Okay, so we're gonna do SPCE here, which kind of looks like a long play. So if you look at SPCE, earliest expiring option chain, which is today, or wait, sorry, no, that doesn't make any sense. That'll be tomorrow, excuse me. So SPCE has an expected move of $2.64. Basically, that's what you can expect the move to be on SPCE's earnings, almost $3, okay? So with SPCE, and again, you get that, so you get the implied move, or you can know how much a stock is expected to move on earnings based on what the at-the-money call and the at-the-money put are added together. So on the ask, the at-the-money price for SPCE is $1.26, and the put is $1.26. You add those together, you're going to come up with $1.52. Not $1.52, $2.52. And you can see the implied move right now is $2.63. So by taking these two, adding them together, you're going to get a value, and that's how much the stock is supposed to move for earnings. So on any platform, Webull, TD Ameritrade, Lightspeed, Interactive Brokers, Robinhood, any single broker that offers an options chain, you always pick the earliest expiring option chain for that stock, add the at-the-money call and the at-the-money put, what they cost to purchase them together. That's going to give you the implied volatility for the move on the stock. Then you can also just look at what is being implied for the move if your broker offers that, rather than having to manually add them together. So now that we know the move is expected to be about $2.64, you would then go over to the stock SPCE. All right. You would then go over to the stock SPCE, and this is what I do. And again, remember that it's best, what I'm showing you right now is best to do at about market close, because obviously the option prices are going to change throughout the day. So calculating them or looking at what that implied move is right before the close will generally give you the most accurate, pricing for that. So you would, this is what I do. I would go to, and then when I get there, I'll tell you. Ironically, you will come to find that most oftentimes, whatever the implied move for the market is on the earnings, so for SPC, the implied move is $2.64. Once we map out the $2.64 difference on the high and the low, you will come to find that it usually lines up right on a standard deviation. So the implied move right now for, and I'm going to put this full screen here, implied move for SPCE is 264. So if we look at the price of SPCE, it's at 3168. So 1 second, I want to do this perfect. 31.68. What do we say? We'll just say it's plus 260. So 34.28. So we're going to go all the way up to about 34.28. So we go up, 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 and you will see that 34.28 comes into play right there. Now again, remember these could change a little bit by the end of the day as the options prices move. So the implied move for SPCE is $2.64 on earnings. Look at where that price level is. Right there. Look at where the standard deviation mean is. Right there. So basically, the options market on SPCE is applying a $2.64 move, which would then bring the stock SPCE back up to its mean on its 4-hour chart. So we have, what's the price again? The price is 31.72 minus 2.60 brings in 29.12. So then we'll go from the current price down to 29.12. Oh, wrong thing. We're going to put a price level here. 29.12. You will notice that just below 29.12 on the 4-hour chart is a half standard deviation. But when we shift this to the daily chart, I think there might be a more accurate level. We'll see. So then when we move this to the daily chart, nope, there isn't really anything in the daily chart. But you will notice that between the 4-hour time frame, a $2.64 move is going to either put the stock here on the mean or the stock down here on the half deviation price point. So now that you have that, ideally the way that I would go about actually trading it, everyone's like, oh, what do you think about earnings? I myself literally never buy a stock trying to anticipate an earnings move. You can make a lot of money if you do it correctly, but if you do it incorrectly, then you're going to lose a shit ton of money. So I take the opposite side of the move. As opposed to trying to catch the big move, I just look at where the stock is meant to go and then trade opposite when it gets there. Because ideally, if SPCE is only supposed to move 264, and note, important note, that just because the option market thinks the implied volatile move is $2.64 does not mean that the stock has to move $2.64. It could go less than 264, it can go more than 264, but generally speaking, about 65 to 70% of the time, you will see your stock move to those desired price levels or value throughout the earnings announcement. The value move can take place in a move to the price target and stay there for the rest of the session. It could go to the price target, pull back a little bit, allowing you to make money. It can go to the price target, completely sell all the way back off to where it actually started the earnings. So a lot of people will do the implied move for the options market and go, okay, it's supposed to move $2.64. Well, then it moves up and then it moves down and then it stays flat. And they're like, well, that's bullshit. It didn't move 264. No, it did move 264. It can move $2.64 by only going up $1.30 and then down $1.30, creating a full move of $2.64. So SPCE does not have to go to this level, and it does not have to go to that level. It literally could go up to here and then swing all the way down to here, and the range from this red line to that red line was $2.60. The implied move was $2.60. So again, earnings can be an absolute bitch to try to predict. So after doing this for so long and experience, I've just come up with my approach, which is I figure out what the implied move is, and in this instance, it's $2.64-ish. So I would expect that SPCE is either going to move down to here or up to here, and as it gets to those prices, the market will then go, okay, we've done the implied move, and now we're going to pull back. So I could look to do a short position here, or I could look to do a long position and bounce the market for an earnings announcement trade. A good example of this would be like on Roku just last night. right? If you look at Roku, Roku ended up selling down, or was it Roku? I think it was Roku. Yeah, like look at, so Roku sells all the way down here to 378 and then bounces. I don't know what it was, but if we looked at the implied move for Roku, it looks like Roku moved from 419 down to 378. 378 is 22, 19 is 30, 41. So this moved $41 on earnings, give or take a little bit. So if last night we did this, we're like, hey, it's a $41 move. We have a price target. It could go all the way down to like here, or it could go all the way, you know, sky high, all the way up there. We would have had two levels. And this would be a situation where I don't even try to catch the down drop. I just wait for it to go to its implied move. And then when it gets there, I'll buy the bounce. This bounce went from 378 all the way up to 396. So 378, that's 12, 96, 18. So it's moved almost $20 on a bounce. That's a big bounce. You don't have to catch $40 down. You can still buy the bounce. So for me on earnings, I never try to catch the initial direction of the move. I always try to trade the counter move when it finally gets to its implied move pre-market or after hours. If that all makes sense, please give me a thumbs up on the video and just a Phil Mickelson thumbs behind your computer. We still haven't gotten to 400 likes, so we got to get 3 more people to tickle the like button. You can snuggle up on it. You can abuse it. You know, whatever, you know. I mean, you can smash it, you can punch it, but still, that's about it. So yeah, if that makes sense, can anybody let me know in the chat? So the average true range, yes, I will make a video on this. It's not you're playing the gap fill opposite. I mean, kind of, because once the stock moves on earnings, it's going to create a gap in the chart the next day. So you are kind of trading back the gap fill, so to speak, but it's not like you're going for a gap fill trade. And then the ATR is the average true range of a stock. So that is really, it's, I forgot the daily basis of average true range. I think it goes back 5 days. I could be wrong on that. But anyways, average true range is the typical daily movement of a stock averaged. So if AMD typically moves $5 on a day, then its average true range is going to be $5, which means from up to down, you can expect a $5 movement. So we're going to go over to something like Verizon. Verizon's a low beta stock, doesn't really have a ton of volatility. So the average true range for Verizon right now is 55 cents, okay? So yes, average true range for Verizon is 55 cents. From the high of day yesterday on Verizon, it was 55.71. The low of day on Verizon was 55.28. So from 55.70 to 55.20, I mean, really, it's more or less like 30 cents, 40 cents. Not quite 50, all right? But whatever, okay? If we go back and we look at a 5-day chart here on Verizon, okay, the day before that, it had a total move from 55.95 and a bottom of 55.57. So again, if we just round it up and do 55.60, well, what is this, 96, 95? So it was about a 40-cent move here yesterday. So you can look at the average true range of a stock, and then that's going to give you a good estimate on how much the stock will move on the day when all things are equal. That means the stock did not receive bad news, like for example, CEO of Verizon has been caught sexually harassing 5 women in the bathroom, even though they probably enjoyed it. Maybe, we don't know the full story, okay, but he did get caught groping women in the bathroom. Yeah, you could probably expect the stock's going to go down and the average true range is going to increase. So again, AMD creates a new graphics card that's going to go into Jeff Bezos' penis-shaped spaceship going to outer space. The stock is probably going to blow up. So its average true range of, say, $3 over the past 5 days probably shouldn't be used too much because, well, he's got a penis-shaped rocket going to outer space with AMD chips on it. Stock's going to boom, okay? So the only time the average true range doesn't make sense to use is when all things are no longer equal for the stock on that day. There has to be some sort of outside catalyst that is changing the current market structure and or environment of the stock that will then lead it to have a bigger average true range or let me rephrase that, a bigger daily range than its average true range. And if you look at this up here, you will see DTR. DTR is for daily today's range. So daily trading range. So today's daily trading range on Verizon is 24 cents. It average does about 50 cents, which means you could expect Verizon to maybe move another 10, 15 cents on the day. The reason this is good is so that when you're taking a position, right, you're like, oh, I'm going for $5 down. It's like, dog, the stock only moves $1 on a day. How the hell are you going to do 400% better when it's not even meant to do that, right? So that's another way that you can line your expectations up correctly. So new traders, extremely important to understand average true range. That way you're not buying a stock, YOLOing your life savings, thinking it's going to go $10 when in fact the average true range is only 50 cents. Okay? Phil Mickelson, thumbs up. So, yeah. If I could kiss you, I would. You know, never been opposed to swinging. Never been opposed to it, but I just never had the right group of old couples walk up to me at the bar. So, maybe that'll happen. Do you have a scanner or a video about setting a scanner for aftermarket open? Not really, but again, you know, I always refer back to it because it's so easy. I mean, they're not the world's best perfect scanners, but again, you know, if you guys don't know, I mean, I'm sure there's some of you that tuned in that aren't aware, but this is a second YouTube channel I have. It's called Trading Clips. All it does is stream scanners all day long. So your question about an after-hour scanner. So the scanner up here on the top left is a high-day scanner. Pretty much during after hours, when anything is spiking, this scanner is going to populate. So all of your earnings moves, anything that happens after hours, this top left scanner is going to find it. So that kind of answers your question in the sense that, do I have a scanner for after hours? Yes. Is there a video about a scanner for after hours? Not really, because we provide a scanner all day long, live stream, that will do everything that you asked for the most part. So that's probably how I'd answer that question. But again, make sure you go there, tickle the like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. By the way, don't think I make a bunch of money on this channel. This channel literally makes like no money. So I'm literally just giving everyone free scanners for free. Literally. This does not in any way, shape, or form help my affiliate marketing with Trade Ideas at all, because I'm giving away the scanners for free. So there's literally no reason for you to buy them. So this is 100% does almost nothing financially for me to the upside. So all that I ask is you go and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I could be wrong about this because I don't trade options all that much, but the break-even price, and I'm sure someone in here knows this too, the break-even price for an option is a price that the stock has to be at by the time of expiration in order to not lose any money. I could be wrong about that because I never really trade options all that much. But correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the break-even price is the price the option has to be at by the time of expiration so that you don't actually lose any money. Gotcha. AMD crashing? Well, I mean, it was literally just yesterday. I mean, literally just yesterday we said. Now again, you know, that this is the other annoying thing about the market is like everybody says something and eventually it's right. Like the whole saying like a broken clock is right twice a day. Like totally true. bunch of stuff happens in the market. Stocks go up, they go down, they go up, they go down, which basically makes everybody correct and wrong, at least at some point, obviously. But yesterday specifically, even when AMD was blowing up, we're like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be long this and holding because your risk is at least down to 114. We pretty much said yesterday, if you buy AMD long, you're almost guaranteed a loss back down to the price of 114. So buying at 122, your risk, no matter what, was back down to like 114. Shit, it's probably going to go lower. It's probably going to go down to freaking, you'll probably see it come all the way down to 108. And when it gets to 108, it'll probably bounce a little bit. So I'll just tell you right now, next couple days, watch AMD on the bear side. If in the event it comes down to about 108, 55, 109, it'll probably have an intraday bounce that day. But that's cool because I'll be here. You'll see it. I'll show you. It'll happen. And then we can all sing kudos and kumbaya together as we die when AMD continues to tank. No, but yeah, you should still be bearish on AMD. How do I get the scanner? Well, you just literally have to go to the YouTube channel. That's pretty much it. So I'll just Control C that bad boy, pop her in there like that, and boom, there you go. And then also, before I swing out for the day, this is something that I posted earlier for some people in the stream, which I will also do the same for you guys. This is a 40% coupon to our course. You don't have to buy it. I'm not trying to sell you anything, which I kind of am trying to sell you on something. But again, if you would like, that is a 40% off coupon to the course. I probably won't do that tomorrow. It's only because someone asked for a discount. But anyways, that's a 40% coupon. You can save it. You don't even have to use it now, but you can save it and then use it at a later time. And if the coupon still goes through, then awesome. But if it expires, well, I guess you're shit on a luck button. But there's that. I gotta run. I'm taking off for the day. I will be back online tomorrow morning. We'll run a stream to about 11, the same as we do here. All I ask is that you guys hit the thumbs up button and then also share the stream to friends, family, anybody else that you guys talk to, that you trade with, any other communities you guys are in, as long as you don't piss off the admins. Or you can even invite the admins of their groups to come into the stream and then we can help them as well. That would probably be the best thing, but you know. That being said, appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll catch you all back tomorrow morning, bright and early.